Yeah, there are a couple of questions that come to mind. Let me start with the Honorable Commissioner. I've listened to both accounts now. When you look at kind of the political history over the last 3 years in Rivers State, we see, Honorable Commissioner, a kind of a trend where elections are going on, and depending on who is favored in a particular local government, we see the intervention of maybe the person that's not favored. I want to ask you, in view of recent instances where the executive governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, has gone with security agents to various polling units, is it completely out of the realm of possibility that the submission made by Mr. Nwodo, that this...
William Obodo.
Yes, thank you. That, that the governor essentially sent people to disrupt the process. Is it entirely implausible on the basis of what has happened in the past?
I'd like to ask you, which election did the governor go to the polling arena? Which election? Is it this particular Saturday election?
No, we're talking about history now. So let me be very precise. I'm referring to the rerun elections in 2016, for example. There were, of course, the phone recordings of the governor admitting to having gone to various polling units, etc., etc. So I'm talking on the basis of that.
It is usually not the practice of the governor to go to polling units during elections. Maybe what you're referring to is the incident that happened in Maiwan during one of the rerun elections, when one of the returning officers refused to surface. And we eventually found out that has been holed up in a police station. And then the APC people wanted to go there to get her out so that they substitute the result she was holding. Recall that one major incident that came out of that particular scenario was where the former party chairman, Dr. Ikanya, removed the cap he was wearing and handed it over to the lady when she eventually came out from the police station. Apart from that, the electoral laws are very clear on the role of everybody, including chief executives of the state. The governor merely casts his votes and goes back home to sit. Why would he be going from one polling unit to the other? He's not a polling officer, he's not a party agent. The point we are making is that even the analysis is wrong to say that depending on where the thing is tilting, then the police will come and all that. Let's look at it this way. When police officers are deployed to the various polling units, they are usually not armed. And I speak to you like somebody who has been in the field, and I have tested this raw power from SARS. I'm not talking about a story that I was told. I come from Ikure local government, and I'm a field officer during the elections. I have smelt the tear gas from SARS. The way they operate is very simple. They are not even interested in the campaigns or the niceties of canvassing for people's votes. They are not interested. They know where they're targeting you. Either they wait for you at the collation, they wait for you on your way to the collation, they take all manner of violent actions against you, shooting sporadically until they get whatever they want out of you. This of last Saturday is very simple to understand what happened, in case anybody's still in doubt. I'd like him to show me from the videos that are trending where the governor's CSO or anybody at all went to interfere with the election processes. Don't forget that if a situation arises in course of an election or in course of the continuation of the processes that requires an inquiry as to why is A happening or why is B happening, the governor, being the chief security officer of the state, may, if he deems it necessary, for instance, ask questions. For instance, now we have a situation where the factional chairman of the APC.
Sorry, there's no...
Excuse me, please excuse me,
you'll have your opportunity.
The factional chairman of the APC, Ojukaye Flag Amakri, was the one who was leading the talks. He was the one who was receiving cover from the SARS people. The pictures are there, they are not lying, they are not hidden. Moving from one polling unit to the other, they were the only ones that were armed. The other police stations, the other police officers in the units were not armed. They were not supposed to. They were the only ones that were moving from one unit to the other, causing disruptions. The only place where he met some level of resistance is one of the wards, Ward 14, Mbunduku community. There, in that place is a cluster of voting units. 11 voting units in that ward. 9 of them are clustered in a place. So if anybody succeeded in disrupting voting in that arena, you have wiped out the result from that unit.
Mr. Woboda, please go ahead and respond.
Now, let me even start from the analysis and the Mbunduku issue. The Mbunduku issue is a stronghold of the APC, which every APC member should even protect, because Mbunduku happens to be where the candidate of the APC, the community, the immediate community of the APC candidate. So why would APC want to disrupt election in that place? Now, the truth of the matter is that, coming to the issue you just mentioned about the party chairman of APC, and he called him a fashionable party chairman. We know that from the moment, of course, that's the gentleman that the governor of Rivers State has always wanted to bring on his side because of the robust followership and leadership the boy provides. You recall how he was incarcerated in prison almost for a year for allegations that were untrue. But that's by the way. The gentleman has...
Is that case over?
The case is still in court, but they are not forthcoming in prosecuting him. Now, but let's leave that aside. Now, the point is, PDP knows that the game is up for them in Rivers State. And that's why they are causing problems every now and then. The election was going smoothly, as you can see from even the videos. The election was peaceful. But the moment they realized that they were losing the election, they caused pandemonium. Let me even address the issue of let me address the issue of the CSO. Now, it's simple for the police to find out if the police wants to investigate. He brought out his pistol, the CSO, and shot. Where? So if right there at Ward 10, my 3 area, and shot into the crowd.
Are there images?
There are no images, but police can verify that by doing a ballistic test on his rifle, on his pistol, to know whether he was shot.
But you saw those images?
The images, of course, that's not my immediate, just like both of us are from Ikwere local government, so we couldn't have been there.
Both of you have made some allegations against each other that are unsubstantiated by video evidence. That's what we're understanding.
Exactly, but that's not the point, that it cannot be proven. The police have made allegation that he shot his rifle. The police can verify that. For instance, they can do a ballistic test to know when last that pistol was shot.
Mr. Wobodo, we've heard, from the chairman, he's saying factional chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State, Flag Amatri, that he alleges that the governor of Rivers State offered him 200 million naira to favor this by-election, to kind of skew it in favor of the governor's party, the PDP. There has not been any evidence to that effect, but that was the allegation that has been made. We have heard a series of allegations leveled by your party against the PDP in Rivers State. And I want to ask you, why is it that, for example, now your party is now even putting blame at the feet of the INEC resident electoral commissioner, Obo Efanga, saying essentially that he's biased, saying that he's essentially an agent of Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike? Why is it that there seems to be allegations toward everybody and there doesn't seem to be any willingness to account for the fact that you are a party facing another party in an election?
Well, the first thing you have to find out is whether the allegations that we're laying are founded. The first is that the INEC resident electoral commissioner has no powers within the law, the Electoral Act that empowers him to conduct the election, to suspend an election that is ongoing. There is none. The section which is cited, section 26, only says that before the election, when it is likely that there's going to be any violence or any circumstance that could make the election not to go on, the INEC can postpone it. It didn't say that when an election, and the Supreme Court has interpreted this, section 53, sub 1 and 2, section 63 again, sub 4, are specific and clear. The Supreme Court has interpreted it to say that once a electoral process had begun, the electoral officer cannot cancel it. All he has to do is to count the result and declare it. Any party that is aggrieved could go to court for the court to cancel it. The chairman cannot take the commissioner, resident electoral commissioner, cannot assume the position of a court to now say he's suspending an election. And that's, by the way, the second point that we have raised is that we said this man is somebody who has shown himself clearly as somebody against the APC. We don't know how he got himself appointed. If you go to Punch of 30th May 2016, he clearly wrote articles against Mr. President and the APC, showing, yes,